This is Algebra, Lesson 12.2, Random Outcomes. So, the experimental probability is when you look at an experiment, or something that somebody's trying to do, and you look at the number of times they observe a specific event out of the number of trials that they do. Whereas theoretical probability is more what we were talking about in Lesson 12.1, where you consider the number of ways to get a specific outcome out of the total number of outcomes. Remember, outcomes means possibilities. So for the first example, it says, as part of her job with the Forest Service, Chandra tagged a total of 1,470 squirrels last year. She tagged 820 black male squirrels, 100 black female squirrels, 380 gray male squirrels, and 170 gray female squirrels. Find the probability of getting a gray male. So among all of these numbers, I see 380 gray male squirrels. So that is the number of ways to get a gray male squirrel out of the possible outcomes, or the number of squirrels. I'm just going to leave that as a fraction. You can reduce it or get a decimal, but I'm going to just leave it in that format. The next question says, what's the probability of getting a female? So if I read through this, I see 170 gray females and I see 100 black females. Putting that together means we have 270 females. That's the number of ways to get a female out of 1,470. And the last one says, what's the probability of getting a red? Well, there are 0 red squirrels in this situation, so that would be 0, or 0 out of 1,470. Letter B says, are the probabilities you calculated experimental or theoretical? So the question is, did I consider all of the squirrels in the whole forest, or did I just consider the squirrels that were obtained through this experiment that Chandra did? And this is just experimental, because we're just looking at the squirrels in her experiment, in her collection. We're not looking at all the squirrels in the whole forest. If we looked at the entire forest, that would be theoretical. Letter B says, Mario is an entomologist who studies the behaviors of bees. He videotapes bees leaving a hive for one day and counts 247 bees flying east and 628 bees flying west. Use the results of Mario's study to predict about how many of the next 100 bees will fly east. So first we need the probability of flying east. The probability of flying east would be the number that we observed going east out of the total number that we observed, and that would be these two put together. So it looks like we're going to have 875. So that's the probability of going east. And if I want to know about how many of the next 100 will fly east, we're going to take that probability and just multiply by 100. And that will give us how many of the next 100 will go east. And that is about 28 bees. That is it for the notes on experimental versus theoretical probability. Good luck on the exercises, and please let me know if you have any questions.